On Tuesday, the House passed a bill that would grant $4.5 billion to address the humanitarian crisis along the border. The passing of this bill comes after acting U.S. CBP Commissioner John Sanders announced his resignation amid constant reports of horrible conditions at the U.S.-Mexico border detention facilities. Today, we're seeing proof of that. I want to warn you, though, this image we're about to put up is very disturbing. It shows a father and his young child dead in the water, drowning after attempting to cross the Rio-Grande into the U.S. This image is putting into perspective the harsh perils of migrants coming into the country. With the latest now, RT's Ashlee Banks joining us.
Disturbing images have emerged of Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez and his 23-month-old daughter, who were found face down in the Rio-Grande this week. Ramirez was looking to seek asylum in the U.S. after traveling from his home in El Salvador, but was unable to present himself to U.S. authorities, so he became frustrated and decided to take matters into his own hands on Sunday. He entered the Rio-Grande with his daughter, placing her on the U.S. bank of the river. He then went back to help his wife across. That's when his daughter saw him moving and decided to jump in the water after him. He then went back for his daughter, and according to Ramirez's wife, that's when the current swept them both away. Ramirez's mother says she begged her son not to leave El Salvador. The last message she received from her son was on Saturday.
The last message he sent me was on Saturday. He said, "Mama, I love you." He said, "Take care of yourselves because we are fine here." When I read that message, I don't know, it made me want to cry because I saw it as a sort of goodbye.
And this is just one of many tragic incidents that have taken place with migrants trying to enter the U.S. for one reason or another. In recent months, 2 infants, a toddler, and a woman were found dead after suffering complications from overheating. And in April, 3 children and an adult from Honduras died after their raft capsized on the Rio-Grande. These tragedies have increased due to U.S. policies that have made it harder for migrants seeking asylum. And in some cases, children are kept in detention facilities who are unable to care for themselves and have no way of communicating with family members. According to reports, recently close to 300 migrant children were removed from a Border Patrol facility in Texas after receiving pressure from lawyers who described the facilities as appalling and dangerous. Adding, children and teenagers were not allowed to shower for weeks. They weren't receiving quality food and were exposed to flu outbreaks. Meanwhile, Justice Department attorney Sarah Fabian recently argued before 3 San Francisco court judges over why migrants staying in detention centers did not receive the safe and sanitary conditions that they deserve.
It's within everybody's common understanding that, if you don't have a toothbrush, if you don't have soap, if you don't have a blanket, it's not safe and sanitary. Wouldn't everybody agree to that? Do you agree to that?
Well, I think there's fair reason to find that those things may be part of safe and sanitary.
Maybe are a part. What do you say maybe? You mean there are circumstances when a person doesn't need to have a toothbrush, toothpaste, and soap for days?
Well, I think in CBP custody, it's frequently intended to be much shorter terms.
Fabian goes on to say these migrants weren't supposed to be in custody for as long as they were, but the reality is they were. And the judges agree the migrants should have been provided with these basic needs. Given the number of deaths and mistreatment of migrants, the House has passed a $4.5 billion emergency border aid bill. Democrats are hoping this bill will address most, if not all, of the humanitarian concerns taking place at the U.S.-Mexico border. The fate of the bill hangs in the balance as we wait to hear from the Republican-controlled Senate. Reporting on the newsroom, Ashlee Banks, RT.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.